What if the end of our lives isn't just a closing door, but something more? Many of us have heard the stories, maybe even from our own families. A loved one in their final days seems to be talking to someone who has already passed, or they describe a beautiful place that no one else in the room can see. These moments are profound, intimate, and often dismissed as simple confusion. But what if there's something more? In this video, we're going to explore the common experiences people report at the end of their lives. We'll look at what they mean to the people having them, and also touch on what science says about these powerful moments. One of the first things many families notice is a gradual withdrawal. This isn't just about feeling tired, it's a deep, instinctual shift in focus from the outside world to an inner one. The person might sleep more, eat less, and lose interest in things that once brought them joy, like the daily news or social visits. Medically, this is often seen as the body conserving energy for its final, essential functions. From a spiritual perspective, however, many who work with the dying see this as a letting go of earthly attachments, a quiet preparation. I once sat with a retired history professor who had spent his life surrounded by books and debate. In his final weeks, he just became silent. His family was worried, feeling he had given up. But when you sat with him, there was a palpable sense of peace. He wasn't giving up. It felt more like he was gathering himself. He was no longer focused on the stories of the world, perhaps because he was preparing for the next chapter of his own. Perhaps the most well-known sign is when people report seeing loved ones who have already passed away. Countless stories from hospices describe a dying person suddenly smiling at an empty corner of the room, or speaking to a parent or spouse who died years ago. Studies on deathbed visions confirm they are remarkably common, and for many, a source of great comfort. It's important to know that while most of these experiences are reported as positive, some can be neutral or even distressing. Neurologically, these visions are often attributed to changes in brain chemistry and activity during the dying process. But for the person experiencing them, they feel incredibly real and reassuring. A hospice nurse shared a story of a woman who was terribly anxious. Suddenly, her face relaxed. She looked up and whispered, "Oh, Michael, you came." Michael was her husband, gone for 20 years. Her fear just vanished. These experiences often make people feel like they won't be alone when they go. As the end of life gets closer, the way a person communicates can change dramatically. Sometimes, their language becomes symbolic, almost like poetry. They might talk about needing to catch a train, pack their bags, or go home now. While this can be confusing, many caregivers believe this is the soul trying to express a deep, intuitive knowledge that a journey is about to begin. I heard about a man who kept saying he needed to find his passport. His family tried to reassure him he was safe at home. A wise chaplain suggested they try something different. "Your passport is ready," she told him, "and your ticket is here. You can go when you're ready." The man visibly relaxed, his agitation disappeared, and he passed peacefully a few hours later. He wasn't talking about a travel document. He was trying to express his need for permission to make his final transition, using the words he had available. One of the most mysterious phenomena is called terminal lucidity. This is when someone who has been uncommunicative for months or even years, maybe due to dementia, suddenly has a brief, unexpected return of their former self. They might speak clearly, recognize family, and share memories. These moments can be an incredible, bittersweet gift. Science is still working to understand how a brain that is significantly damaged can suddenly function with such clarity. There is no established scientific explanation for it yet. For families, it's a baffling and beautiful moment. Imagine a mother with advanced Alzheimer's, who hadn't spoken a clear sentence in years, suddenly looking at her daughter and saying her name. For an hour, she was completely back, asking about her grandkids before passing away peacefully the next day. Spiritually, some interpret this as a final moment of grace, where the person's essence shines through one last time to say goodbye. As consciousness shifts, many people report altered sensory experiences, like hearing beautiful music that no one else can hear, or seeing a brilliant, loving light. The experience of moving toward a light is a common feature in near-death experiences and seems to be part of the dying process for some. Scientific models suggest these experiences can result from specific brain processes during critical states, like oxygen deprivation or surges in neurotransmitter activity. Yet, for those who have them, the description is consistently one of overwhelming love and peace. A man who had a near-death experience described the light as a presence that felt more real than real life, a feeling of belonging that erased his fear of death completely. These reports suggest a person's senses may be starting to perceive things differently at the very end. Separate from visions or symbols, there are anecdotal stories of people who just seem to know their time is up. This isn't a feeling of depression, but a deep, calm intuition. They might start giving away prized possessions or say their goodbyes with a sense of completion, even without an immediate medical crisis. While there's no scientific evidence that people can predict their own death, stories abound in hospice care. You'll hear of patients who seem to hold on until a specific family member arrives, or wait until everyone has briefly left the room to pass away. It's not something that can be proven, but these accounts point to a sense of awareness about this final transition, as if guided by an inner compass. Often, the culmination of these signs is a profound shift from fear to peace. Even people who have had a difficult illness or lived with great anxiety can find a state of grace in their final hours. People at the bedside often report a tangible feeling of peace that settles in the room. The person's face may relax, and they might appear to be in a state of deep tranquility. Theologians and philosophers might call this a final release of earthly struggles and an embrace of peace. For those watching, it's perhaps the most reassuring sign of all. It suggests that whatever this journey is, its destination might not be a void, but a place of profound calm and resolution. These experiences, shared across cultures, paint a picture of dying as a meaningful, active process. They don't erase the sadness of loss, but they can offer comfort. What about you? Have you ever witnessed moments like these? If you feel comfortable, we invite you to share your own stories or experiences in the comments. Talking about this can help all of us understand it a little better. From withdrawing into an inner world to seeing loved ones, from speaking in symbols to moments of startling lucidity, these experiences are a profound part of the human journey. While science seeks to understand the neurobiology behind them, the experiences themselves offer a message of comfort and connection. They tell a story of a process that is much more than a medical event. They reassure us that dying is a natural passage, and for many, a surprisingly peaceful one.